Please take notes, Michael Bay. This is how you make an actually good movie that has, and I will list, action, comedy, suspense, romance, and all of that bundled into a wonderfully shot, wonderfully paced, wonderfully choreographed, wonderfully musical movie I have seen. Yes, I'm still a little sore, and I'm even more sore after seeing that box office where Transformers made double what Power Rangers did in its entire run in 2 days. I blame you. You know who you are. The ones who went to go see that movie. Shame on you. All of the shame. And more shame on you if you don't go see this movie. Seriously, Baby Driver is what happens when you take the Fast and the Furious and, believe it or not, somehow, follow me with this, combine it with Princess Bride, hear me out, and if it was written by Quentin Tarantino. That's how good the dialogue in this movie is. Yes, this is a movie that is actually worthy of the hype, and even beyond that. I'm not going to say this is immediately the greatest movie I've ever seen, but considering I thought this movie was going to be horrible, and the trailers did not make it look that good, you know, stereotypical chase movie, which they had one of those about, I want to say, 2 years ago, but it was a BMX guy instead of a race car driver. But no, this movie actually was directed by the same person who gave us Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and it's quite noticeable. The dialogue, the character, the comedy, all seems to flow very nicely, especially when it comes to some of the action scenes, because if you've seen a Transformers movie, or if you've seen a crappy action movie, here's how it basically works. I'm doing something, I'm fighting the guy next to me, and then, instead of continuing the fight scene, it'll pan to the guy behind me, and the guy to the side of me. That way they can do multiple shots with multiple takes, and make it look more fluid in their own mindset. However, there's a difference between appearing fluid and actually being fluid. It's the same thing where, say I'm driving a car, or whoever is in the movie driving the car, and they turn right. Now, at a high-speed chase, you can expect some people to do one of two things. One, what this movie does, and what it should do in my opinion, show the entire shot in its, well, entirety. You actually feel the tension, you feel the drifting, you feel the suspense, if you will. But most movies will do the opposites. Well, they'll show him turning, cut to inside the vehicle, show the outside, maybe from a lower angle shot to make it look big, and then the final shot of them completely turned around and going straight on. This movie doesn't do that. It does that a little bit near the end, but you can mostly think that to the fact that the climax takes at night, and you really need a good amount of lighting to make this work. Anybody complains about my videos lighting, it was even darker in that one. But, yeah, our titular character, Baby, and relax, that's not his name, it's an alias, they go over that, really has a nice chemistry with the waitress, Deborah, and a chemistry with the crew that he works with. And throughout the movie, you see 3 sets of crews. The first set is where you get in the opening, there's a middle one with Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx is crazy in this movie. I don't even know if he thought he was actually playing in the movie. I just think they got Jamie Foxx to be Jamie Foxx. And of course, Kevin Spacey is the titular mastermind, the one who's kind of like Baby's overseer because he's the boss, and Baby owes him a lot of money, hence why he's a driver. And their chemistry evolves throughout the movie to the point where, near the end, he has a bit of a slight redemption arc. And it's honestly believable. The one thing I'll give this movie complete credit for is that it feels real. It feels real in the sense that, one second. There we go. Unless you guys want to hear a fan blowing 24/7, I gotta keep the AC off. And it is humid today. But I digress. But yes, Kevin Spacey and everybody feels real in this movie. They have their motives and they mostly stick to it. Baby wants to do this to get his money, get out of this would-be lifestyle. But the music is more something that he loves as well and ties into his character. Everyone thinks, oh, the earbuds, he needs to listen to music to make it work. Well, they go more into detail on that. I'll touch that little tidbit in a minute. Jamie Foxx, psychopath, plays a psychopath. I think he's one of the biggest body counts in this movie up until the end with Buddy. And then you got Buddy and Darlene, who are the couple that you see in the movie's trailer, the ones, shooting guns back to back. And their chemistry is really nice too. It feels like they really do have this weird pseudo-love for each other that one could relate very similar to Joker and Harley, just without the pseudo-sadistic trend to it. Yeah, seriously, please put Harley Quinn back in a Harlequin outfit. All I ask. I do not need more booty shorts for the rest of my life. Make it look like the animated series, that's all I'm asking. And Kevin Spacey is Kevin Spacey. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know who Kevin Spacey is, of the younger audience, he was the guy who was the main villain in the last Call of Duty game. The one who declared war on the world and expected everything to go well. Yeah, that goes about as well as you can imagine. But that's just the icing on the cake. The main bit of this movie is something that really gets to your ears. And what I mean by is this. If you have a hearing problem, wait for this movie to go to Redbox, to Netflix, or to your home theater. Because the music plays such a heavy key to this movie. Because how Baby is so good with driving is that based upon what he assumes is going to happen, he plays certain music to represent that. In fact, in a titular shootout scene, he's playing Tequila. And, whenever there's a sting, bomb, 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 the action actually matches that. With every big sting is when someone shoots a gun, and it continues. Or when he's driving, he'll match his rhythm and moods to the beat of the car. To a point where he actually resets the song because he needs to reset a certain scenario. And that's actually something I never would have thought of. And you hear his music. But when his music comes off, and they explain why, it's kind of slight spoiler, but don't worry about it. It's not going to ruin the movie or anything. He has tinnitus, and I'm not exactly a medical expert, so I can't tell you exactly what tinnitus is, other than the fact that in Archer he keeps going, Mom, Mom, Mom. So I don't know how accurate that is. But when there's no music playing, you either hearing him talking, or you hear a little pitch whine, and it adjusts given upon his surroundings. It's something actually quite, annoying at first, but after a while you get used to it and you start having little issues with your ears. But this movie was designed to be shown on the big screen, and I highly recommend anybody to go see this. If you're a fan of the Fast and the Furious franchises, if you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino, a fan of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, or you just want to go see an action film that doesn't have either A, Wonder Woman, or B, pointless explosions, this is a good fit. Definitely a matinee at the minimum. You're not going to regret seeing this movie. And I didn't hear any single person complaining when walking out, so that's a good sign. And trust me, people these days love to complain the moment the movie is over. And they'll complain about anything, so that's a good sign. Well, as you could probably guess, it's early day, so I'll probably be doing one more tonight. And considering the house has horrible times that I won't be able to get to, I get to enjoy the wonderful final to the trilogy of Despicable Me 3. I might have to rewatch this movie afterwards just to remember what a good movie is. Or who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe the minions will go away and we won't have to hear from them ever again. Please? Please? Yeah, well. Like I said, guys, Baby Driver, amazing, go see it. And by the way, thanks to everybody who somehow managed to get us over 300 views on that Transformers video. I didn't see that coming. So, the only good thing I'll say about Michael Bay, his videos are popular. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later tonight with Despicable Me 3. This is Kevin Riley, and as always, signing off. See you next time. Later.